Hey you guys, it is me, Laura, and today I have a sketch challenge for you. I created this sketch, which is basically a layout that you can use for a card. Now, I debated on whether or not to put measurements on here, but I decided that I would leave the measurements up to you, as you can change these around just a little bit as you need to fit the card that you're creating. But the idea here is just to give you a basic outline and idea to build your card from. And the card that I am making today is this Dream Big card using the new Over the Moon stamp set, which is just an adorable set that I absolutely love. So I'm going to work with you today to create this card. And as you can see, I used the sketch here. I have my strip down the middle. Then I used a pattern paper here, and I have my main stamped image here with my sentiment on it. Of course, you can add a sentiment, you can change this up, you could make these circles instead of rectangles. The idea here is that this just gives you a jumping off point. But this is what we are going to make today using this sketch, and I'll have the sketch linked for you below. But let's go ahead and get started. So I am going to start by stamping my cow, and I am using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I always want to say that out of order. I'm not quite sure why. So I'm going to ink this guy up really well, and I am going to stamp him down fairly low to leave room for my sentiment, and also to leave room for his little dream bubble. And let's make this cow have some pretty big dreams. Stamp that there. And then I am going to get my Dream Big sentiment, ink that up, stamp it right there. Now I am going to color this with some blends today. I am using several colors. You can use whatever color medium you have. You can use whatever colors that you have. I will tell you what I'm using, but if you don't have all of these colors, that's totally fine. You can substitute what you do have. So I am going to start by coloring his spots, and I have chosen for that light basic black. And the reason I went with the light basic black is because of his eye here. I didn't want to use basic black and have it be so dark that you couldn't see his eye anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and color this guy, and I'll speed it up, and then I'm going to get to a place where I'm going to show you a few tips, and I'll slow it down to show you that. For the hooves, I am using dark smoky slate. For his collar that's peeking out right there just a little bit in the heart, I am going to use dark Calypso Coral, which is very similar to the terracotta tile card base that I'll be. Then for his little bell, I am using the bronze. Now I'm going to have a little fun. I decided to add some grass with mine, and I'm doing some basics shading here. So there's so many methods that you can use to shade with these markers, but I'm going to show you the way that I like to use, which it might be a little more work than what some people do. But I start by putting down a base layer of color, and this does not have to be smooth, it does not have to be perfect. The idea is just to get my paper a little bit wet, get some color on the paper, and get me started. So then what I do is I come in with my dark color, so in this case it's dark grainy apple green, and wherever I have shading, I am just going to come in here and make a little kind of shadow line. I'm just going to follow it, in this case, around the edge of the cow, and I'm going to make my shade go over this way just a bit. Okay, then I'm going to come in with my light again, and I am going to pull that color out that I just made from my shading until it blends really, really well. Just gonna keep pulling that out, bring it down till there's not much of a line there. have a little shadow with my grass for my cow. And then I'm going to come in, and for this little bubble here, I just want to add a little tiny color. So I have my light pool party, and this is totally optional, but I'm just going to add a little color on the side of the bubbles there. And then for his little snout area, I have the ivory Stampin' Blend, and I am going to just put a little outline around his face here. And then I'm going to take my blender pen, and I am going to blend that color out just to soften it up a bit so that that line is not quite so harsh. And this is going to look funny at first because this is a clear pen, but as you keep working it, you will see that it will soften that line. When it dries, you'll see that it'll just kind of fade out nicely there. So that is all the coloring I have to do. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my panel here, and this is the part of the sketch that you can see right here. And I am making this pattern paper. Again, this is totally your choice to do whatever you think will look nice. The sketch is just inspiration. But I'm going to make some cow spots. You could draw them yourself, but I'm going to be using this stamp right here from the Happy Tails set. It's meant to be spots on a dog, but I think that it makes great cow spots, so that's what I'm going to do with it right now. So I have my spots done. Now it's really just a matter, oh wait, one more thing to stamp. I often forget this. I'm going to stamp the inside of my card. This is a panel that's going to go right inside. My base color here is Terracotta Tile, and I have a strip of the Terracotta Tile Designer Series paper. You could use any size. You could make this card any color you would like to. But when I'm using a darker color, I like to have a white piece on the inside. That way it makes it easier for me to write. So I'm just going to stamp with the Dream stamp, and I am going to color that in again with the dark Calypso Coral Blends marker. And you could do a lot more shading with this coloring. You could shade your heart, you could do whatever, but I wanted to keep it somewhat simple for today. And then I am going to grab my glue. All there is to it. This is the first card I made. They're both very similar with the sketch from today. And as I said, I will link this sketch below, and I'm very eager to see what you create with your sketch. So please feel free to leave a link with a picture of yours in the comments below, or you can send me an email or share a picture, however works best for you. And as always, I hope you find joy in creating as you spread kindness and encouragement with your scraps of paper. Talk to you later. Bye.